Section 30 of the Book of Divine Consolation of the Blessed Angela of Foligno. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Treatise II, Chapter 29, of the various properties of love. In order to understand how the aforesaid wisdom ruleth the love of God, ye must know that love hath various properties. Firstly, it maketh tender. Secondly, it maketh sick. And thirdly, it maketh strong. When the soul feeleth divine love, it crieth aloud, and maketh a noise like unto a stone which is placed in a furnace to be turned into lime. If the stone is touched by the fire, it cracketh noisily, but if it be baked, it maketh no noise. Thus the soul doth in the beginning seek divine consolation, but when it hath been overwhelmed thereby, it groweth weak and crieth out against God, lamenting and saying, Lord, why hast thou sent this weakness upon me? Great audacity, however, is born of that assurance which the soul hath of God. It knoweth of a certainty that God loveth it deeply, and doth sometimes favor it by giving it marvelous and ineffable consolations. But these must not be demanded with importunity. Nevertheless, if God giveth them, they are not to be refused, for they draw the soul nigh unto the Beloved. They are its food, they do cure its weariness, and through them is it uplifted and drawn unto seeking, loving, and being united with its Beloved. In this state is the soul contented with consolations, but through the deprivation thereof doth love increase and begin to seek for the Beloved. And when it findeth him not, it falleth sick and is no more contented with consolations, because it seeketh its Beloved alone. And the more consolation, knowledge, and other such things that it hath, the more doth love increase, and the more sick and weary doth it become, if it not be in the presence of its Beloved. But when the soul is united and placed in the seat of truth, which truth is the seat of the soul, it crieth no more, neither doth it murmur against God. It groweth no more weak, nor falleth sick, but is filled with marvelous wisdom and rightness, and becometh stable and orderly, and is so strengthened that for love of its Beloved would it go even unto death, inasmuch as it possesseth in abundance the qualities needful for that union. And God Himself maketh the soul to grow, in order that it may hold all that which He desireth to put in it. The soul beholdeth this thing, and perceiveth that all other things are as nothing, if they come not from this. Then the soul esteemeth as nothing all that it had been heretofore, in comparison with what it is now. It regardeth not anything created. It careth neither for death nor infirmity, neither for honor nor disgrace. And so peaceful and full of comfort is it, that nothing can rouse it. It hath lost all desire, and it cannot work, for when it seeth the aforesaid visions, it can do nothing whatever. Thus it appeareth that God doeth all things according to His wisdom and in an orderly and seemly manner. For we fall not sick even when He is absent, and thus do we conform unto His will. Although He be absent, we seek Him not, but are satisfied with what He hath ordained and trust wholly in Him. But when these visions are withdrawn from the soul, because none are allowed in this present life to continue therein, there is given and doth remain unto it a new and ardent desire to perform without trouble the works of penitence more vigorously than heretofore, and assuredly this state is more sublime than was the other. And the love now kindled is perfect and causeth the loving soul to imitate its Beloved, Christ crucified, whose sufferings did endure all the time that He lived this mortal life. Thus He began, continued, and ended. He was ever upon the cross of poverty, grief, contempt, and obedience, and all the other hard deeds of penitence. Whosoever loveth another perfectly useth all his endeavor to make himself one with that person, following his example and doing those things which please him. Likewise, whosoever loveth Jesus, God and man, will endeavor to transform himself in Him, following His example and doing that which he believeth will please Him, and in his manner of life seeking as to be like unto Him as possible. End of section 30.